Yes, so Vortex here, and welcome to my review of the Moondrop Chu. This is what's the best way to describe it? They're like a budget release from them. Obviously it's priced a little bit more than the Quarks, but it's actually tuned better. And yeah, they use a single dynamic driver, and it's actually a metal shell, which is quite unique. Obviously it's such a low price. Mine is also the non-mic version, which is a little bit cheaper. And yeah, I like to, so full disclaimer is, this is from the Yo-Yo Tiger Hi-Fi Audio Store on AliExpress. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own. And yeah, this is a paid for unit, so it's not a review sample or anything like that. This is just from the shop I bought it from. And yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, it's got the typical Moondrop kind of artwork, shall we say, for the people who are into that. So yeah, this is the Chu high performance, you know, the Mr. E. It's the performance with no E dynamic driver in ear monitors. So that's the graph. They normally do put kind of a graph on what it sounds like. Obviously you can see it's boosted in the lower treble, upper mids kind of region. So quickly run over what it says. So it uses zinc alloy, which is good, metal shell for such a low amount of money. A 10mm double cavity dynamic driver. 10mm is quite common. Uses titanium plated diaphragm. There's the coil, magnetic circuit, patent anti-blocking filter, which is good to see what it's like. Sensitivity is 120 dB, impedance 28 ohms, which is very kind of normal really. And frequency response is 10 Hz to 35,000 Hz, which is quite a lot. And yeah, so it's a little bit more premium than the Quarks used to be. Obviously it's different kind of tuning, different kind of shell. Let's get these out. So yeah, as you can see, there's already the first negative, which is attached wire. So this is right. Very good kind of build. The paint or the finish looks similar to the Aria, which is more expensive. They're very small, but the fit and finish seems very good. It's a shame that the cable is attached. They seem to be using like an old KZ kind of cable. If you've seen the older models, you know what I mean. But yeah, at least it comes with a right angle connector. And obviously mine is the no mic version, which I always typically pick because there's just less to go wrong. Just some paperwork here. That's useful for you. So some QC information here. High performance in-ear monitors. Some Chinese. That side. Other side is normally English. So yeah, just the normal information. It's just kind of common sense about to choose ear tips, and it even tells you about bass loss. It will prevent bass loss, blah 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 blah. So yeah, always get the right tips for you. Always double check. You may have to use different sizes than you're normally used to. There's some just common sense and information there. So that's that. Comes with this kind of carry pouch. It kind of feels like a felt. I didn't even know this is even included. But I don't know how many people use them, but it's better than nothing. And one of the unique things about this model is the tips it comes with. Now normally the tips, I need to double check, but they're normally for the more expensive models. So it comes with 2 ear guides. Reality, it should have come with something like this fitted anyway. You know, like even KZ and CCA can do it at a cheaper price. And yeah, so this is one of the main things is these tips, which are normally sold separately. And these are probably nearly the price of these earbuds themselves. But yeah, good to see they've included some, you know, nice tips. So yeah, I haven't tried these yet, so you're going to see me in the future. Obviously I'm going to put some time on them, graph them, try different kind of bunch of my different music I listen to, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the future. Yeah, so folks, so finally on to the review section of the Moondrop Chu. the choo-choo train, the Chu. So it's quite a funny name, but yeah, let's just get straight into the cable. So I don't know why they decided to go this path. So this is the right one, as you can see. Attached cable. We like cable that's like off KZs, like older KZs, KZs if you're American. I don't know why they did that, but anyway, let's start from what it looks like. So right angle connector, which is what I always like. And mine is obviously the non-mic version, but obviously there's the actual splitter. Chinese emblem and Moondrop. But yeah, I would have preferred a detachable cable really at this kind of price. KZ and TRN, CEA and many others do it for much less. So yeah, but that's it. So let's talk about build. So all metal. It's kind of a very smooth excuse me. So it's a very smooth black painted finish, and it's metal again, which is very good. So that's what it looks like with that nozzle. So yeah, the actual build quality is very good. Now, how these fit you? So, because they say this is the right one, it can be worn cabled down, which is useful. It seems a bit odd, but obviously if you want to wear it up, it does come with the ear guides. Again, I think the detachable would have been the way forward really, but yeah. So comfort on these, I didn't really have any issues. Considering they're not too bad at all. There's obviously 2 vents per side if you want to mod them. So there's one there. The 2 vents if you want to mod it. And yeah, so let's talk about power and sensitivity. I found they took a little bit more power than normal to actually get to normal level, shall we say, but it wasn't too bad. They're not like monsters or anything like that. It's not too bad at all. I didn't really have any issues. Your phone should power these fine, or whatever your source is, it should power these perfectly fine. So yeah, let's talk about kind of the micro details. I thought micro details is good. Again, no issues at all. This is $20 for the non-mic. I think it's a couple of dollars more for the mic version. I always typically pick non-mics if possible, because it's just basically just less to go wrong. Yeah, and I do like the styling, kind of unique. Yeah, so let's talk about the actual tonality of these. Tonality is very good. Here's what it looks like with these are the tips to come with. That's what it looks like, fitted. But yeah, tonality I thought was very good. They've used a good driver, and you can tell from the sound what it's like. And yeah, so I'm going to, before I start rambling, I'm going to have a look at the actual graph now. And as you can see, it is a bass light neutralish tuning, but anyway, let's talk about bass. Quite light. I think many folks are going to mod this or EQ the low end up, but because it is bass light, it sounds so clean because there's no bass kind of getting in the way, shall we say. But I don't mind it. I prefer, in a way, it might be better to have a low amount of it than too much. Because obviously nobody likes mud or bloated. But I didn't mind that they're more bass light, because it's very rare at this price. Normally at this kind of price range you get V-shape, and this isn't that. So I don't mind, it's different. But I think many people would probably prefer more low end. But apart from that, the bass is fine. Like obviously it doesn't have much slam because it doesn't have much low end. I wouldn't class it as neutral. It's just a little bit above it, just not much above it. But mids, very clean and very clear. One thing with these, they sound very, very clear, which is good. Excuse me. So yeah, for the $20, the mids I think are very good. Everything sounds clear. Male vocals sound a bit thin because I think you lack the low frequency or the bleed, but they are better for female vocals, I think, than male. Obviously you can tell from the treble that's there as well, but mids are fine. Everything's very clear. They're not V-shaped for once, so things aren't pushed back. But yeah, so I was quite happy with the mids. So treble, now this is where I think it may fall down, these are quite bright. Personally for me, I prefer a smoother treble response. but again, you can always EQ it back a bit, or I think there's probably some mods that exist already. But yeah, these are a neutralish, brighter kind of sound. Again, but this makes all instruments I found was very clear because of the higher treble response. I didn't mind that. It's a little bit more what I personally like. But if you're a treble head, you'll probably like this at all. And the vocals again are very forward. Instruments, from what I could tell, not different genres I tried, everything's very clear, very forward. You know, these aren't dark or anything like that. These can be fatiguing because they have, you know, they have enough treble extension. Obviously, it drops off a bit, but and I didn't have any sibilants, so that's quite good as well. I just found the overall kind of sound was very lean and clear. Obviously a bit bright, but obviously you can adjust that if you want to. But yeah, they're not a bad sound really. I was quite happy with the performance. So, excuse me, I've still got a bit of a cold. So yeah, conclusion is, do I recommend these for sound? Yes. They are different to what you get at this kind of price range, which is normally a V. And they sound very clean, they're very detailed earphones. Probably a touch too bright, what I'd like, and probably not enough bass for some people. Again, you can either mod it, EQ it, you know, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, for the actual technical performance, I think it's good. And they sound more expensive than $20. I think that's the thing. But ultimately, I don't really like how the cable is, how it's attached. Like, I don't know why they did that. I presume just to save a bit of money elsewhere because they're spending money on a good driver and obviously on a metal housing. And with these tips alone, I think these tips alone cost $10 for the set. So you have to bear that in mind. But yeah, I do recommend it. Well, you have to be wary of the shortfalls. But I recommend it for sound alone because it does sound more expensive than they are. But next time, Moondrop, please add a detachable cable. Even if you have to charge a little bit more, it's worth it. Because if this cable breaks or there's a breakage in it or anything like that, you're stuck. Unless you are quite handy with soldering, you know, it's kind of a bit of a problem. And yeah, that's it. I won't go on too long, but yeah, a good set. Maybe a bit bright, maybe a bit bright and a bit bass light for some, but yeah, still a good sound quality for the actual money. So yeah, thanks very much for watching and take care. And as usual, just let me know in the comments if you want to know anything particular. Take it.